your life is on the line and you know that you're on an oxygen tank and they're going to put you in your head, see what you do. Because the bottom line is that me, I'm one person. I can never miss.
The guy's not being loyal to you. How could you be loyal to him? Yeah. And whether you're your father or not. So, you know, but it's always been hard because it was my father.
The word came down, this guy had to go. You know, we didn't know nothing about him until the last minute. And I liked him. I liked Bill. He was a nice guy, but...
Welcome to the show. Welcome to Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today we're going to talk about Rico Rudy over here. So Rico Rudy, he's the guy who prosecuted all the mob guys out in the 80s. And now he's getting a little bit of his own medicine thrown back at him. How you like that, Rudy? So we're going to get into this on what's really going on with this guy. What are the chances? Before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell so you can get my videos every time they drop. I know I got a lot of fans out there, and I appreciate you guys. Every person that comes to watch my show, I really appreciate it. Let's get into it. Mobsters thrilled to see Rudy Giuliani hit with RICO charges. He used to throw jail mafia bosses in. So he used to put people in prison. And now things ain't looking too good for Mr. Rudy. Defense lawyers who represented the biggest names in gangland say their clients love that Rudy Giuliani used the racketeer influence and corrupt organization RICO to jail leaders. Mafia leaders. Himself stands charged with racketeering. Multiple outlets reported. All of my clients who had the misfortune of being prosecuted by him are laughing now. Jeffrey Lichman, who successfully handled 2004 through 2006 defense of Junior Gotti. So that's John Gotti's son. Gotti, his famous father, dodged by Giuliani's office for years, was imprisoned in 1992 after being found guilty on criminal counts, including racketeering. I am thrilled that Rudy is now experiencing what it feels like to be on the wrong end of a RICO prosecution. He too said he's having a laugh as the wheel of karma rolls towards the former Southern District U.S. Attorney. Before becoming a New York City 110th mayor in 1994, Giuliani made a name for himself as a fearless prosecutor who went after the mob, tying seemingly untouchable kingpins to their illegal activity and criminal enterprises they oversaw. On Monday, Georgia prosecutors charged Giuliani with being part of a criminal organization. Now, what are the fucking chances, Rudy? Rico Rudy is his new nickname, Rico Rudy. That sought to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election from his former boss, Donald Trump. Lost more than 7 million votes. Long before he reached the apex of his career as America's mayor following the 2001 Twin Towers attacks, Giuliani ironically pioneered this type of charge he now faces, playing an instrumental role in taking down some of the city's most notorious mobsters. RICO laws allowed prosecutors to encompass the whole picture of crimes committed by an enterprise and target those at the top and not just their underlings. While the federal government has had RICO statute in the books since 1970, several states would later adapt similar statutes. Georgia, New York are among states that currently have RICO statutes. Mob attorney Murray Richmond resume includes defense of late Lucchese family boss Carmine Mr. Gribbs Tremondi and Bonanno capo Dominic Big Trinchara. He told that several of his clients are also fucking thrilled to see Giuliani on RICO charges. Half of these guys love Trump. They freaking love Trump. But all of them are almost unified in their position on hating Rudy, who has served as chief appeals under Rudy. Paul Stetchman, who served as chief appeals under Rudy in 1980, the fall of America's mayor, as he was named after steering New York City through the terror attacks on September 11, 2001, seemingly comically absurd. In 1980, if you said Rudy Giuliani had been indicted on RICO charges, someone would have thought it was a bad Saturday Night Live joke. You guys remember when he went on Saturday Night Live and he was making fun of all the mob guys that he put in prison over the RICO Act. And now, look what's happening to him. It's crazy. Let me get to some of these comments. I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch my show. Little Mario, how have you been, man? Really appreciate you taking the time, bro. The GOAT, what's up? How are you, bro? Yo, I'm going to be giving out some wrenches. Cindy, how are you? Thank you all for joining me today. So Rudy is in some shit. Rudy's not having a good week. Let's see. All right. Defense attorney Anthony Candrell defended Genevieve's crime boss, Fat Tony Salerno. So Fat Tony died. Was it yesterday was the anniversary of Fat Tony's death, if you guys didn't know that. He told ABC News that Giuliani, being entangled in RICO complications, he used to snare many of the defendants. This is a perfect irony. The Genovese family infiltrated concrete companies to control the construction high-rise building in Manhattan, including Trump Plaza. New York Times reported in 1986. Salerno was convicted of racketeering and died in prison. Now, let me show you guys something real quick that you might not have known. Maybe you do. So Donald Trump has had dealings with Fat Tony quite a few times. He was in business with him on a bunch of different ventures, if you guys don't know that. I'm going to show you something. Here is Mr. Trump, the mob lawyer himself, the gay mob lawyer at that, if you guys didn't know that. Rudy. Hold on. Let's see his let's put up his mugshot real quick. Trump should have a mugshot today, right? A new one. He looks pissed. He looks pretty pissed, man. So, speaking, Salerno was convicted of racketeering and died in prison yesterday. In 1992, while serving a 170-year sentence, speaking with right-wing cable outlet, which involves civil litigation. So this all has to do with election rigging and all this stuff. So I saw a video, if you guys didn't know. There's a video of a mail carrier truck pulling up to a fucking voting station and dropping off ballots. You could see, like, let me play this video for you guys. You guys wouldn't believe it. I told you. Let me see if I can find it. I think this whole, we got government officials getting indicted for the same thing that they brought the mob guys down with. So, I mean, you can't make this shit up. Like, really, you cannot make this up. Let me show you something. All right. So here is, so I'm going to play a quick video. This is from 2 years ago, okay? 2 years ago. Now, this is what they've been indicted for. Fulton County. It's breaking news. Judge Trump surrenders. I'm going to show you guys what's going on right this second. This is live. Trump has surrendered at jail in Fulton County. Here we go. Trump to surrender in Fulton County, Georgia. His bond, I think, is what, $300,000? This stuff is getting crazy. It really is. Felipe, what's up, man? Cindy, thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. Let me show you this other video. I got this other video to show you guys. Now, this was... All right, this was 2 years ago, and this is basically what they're being indicted for. So pay attention to this video. It's from 60 Minutes. Go subscribe. Fair use. Fair use.
Let's go to this one.
With Georgia election official Gabriel Sterling.
These boxes that Rudy Giuliani and the president have described as suitcases are actually purpose-built ballot carriers that are used because they can be sealed.
Yes, Scott. So, and you can see, and they're out in plain sight. So it's not like anything was hidden from anybody. And let's get to 9:57. And here comes the ballot carriers that we're talking about.
With this man here.
Yes, and they're empty, as you can see.
Right.
So these are the ballots that need to be stacking into these carriers.
Now, this is the same room from a different camera angle.
Yes.
What do you see in this picture?
Well, here you have here's some cutters running their work, the flatteners over here getting the ballots prepared, and then up to this corner, this is the press and the observers who are there from the different parties.
The Democratic and Republican observers are right here.
Yes, and doing a great job of looking at their phones.
Now, it is almost 10 p.m. election night. Some of these people have been working 12, 14 hours.
Yes.
And they've just been told that they're going to wrap up for the night.
Mm-hmm.
So what are they doing here?
This is where they're packing up because they think they're going home. They're packing up to seal them so that nobody can, mess with the ballots when no one's there.
They're securing the ballots.
Correct.
With the idea that they're going to come back tomorrow and count them.
Yes, sir.
But then what happened?
When we found out at our office, approximately 10:30 or so, that they were knocking off for the night.
Now, this is what Rudy and Trump are being indicted for. So make sure you guys watch this close so you guys hear what they're saying. The people in the election office left for the night. You see them here packing up the election, all the ballots, but they didn't count them before they left. So let's listen to what happened before they got back in the next day.
Secretary was upset because we wanted people to work as long as they could so that we could have the results out as fast as we could. So our office called the director of Fulton County, who subsequently calls the manager on site here and says, y'all need to keep on working. So they keep on stacking in here. And again, that's 3 of the boxes that fit perfectly inside that box. She's got the lids in her hands. There, she's finally sliding the lids on.
She's putting the lids on the ballot carriers.
She's doing her best to put the lids on. She's just having a difficult time with this. But again, it's still 10:01. The monitors and press are still in the room. So they were seeing all this occur. She's putting the seal on right now, which is these blue items here.
So she's sealing the ballot carrier box so that no one can tamper with it.
Correct.
Those are ballots that have been opened from their envelopes but have not yet been counted.
Correct.
What
Why?
she's thinking in this moment.
How come they've been opened up from their envelopes and have not been counted and they're put back in this box? That's a question I have. Why? Why are they messing around with this stuff?
Moment is what she's been told by her supervisor is put those away. We're going to count them tomorrow.
Yes. And it's 10:06. The monitors are still there. So this is where you see them slide this box under the table.
Why under the table?
Get them out of the way. They're still walking around doing stuff. They got cords. They got boxes. There's this stuff out of the way. And then you see here, boxes are the exact same kind of box. They just want to get these out of the way to know that these are the ones we got to scan later that we hadn't scanned yet.
At this point, the Secretary of State's office, your office, has called Fulton County and said, you guys can't go home. You've got to keep counting.
Yes.
And so we're about to see what happens next.
Correct.
Now, this is the aha moment.
That's what
Yes.
I thought.
In Rudy Giuliani's version of
Correct.
the video.
Correct.
They're pulling those ballot carriers out that we just saw them put under there.
Correct. About a little less than an hour earlier, with the press and observers in the room.
All right. So now what? Do they not count the ballots or do they count them? Let's find out.
And then you see,
And
that
here
one
they
wasn't-
come.
Yeah, here they come. And that wasn't even hidden. You could see that on the other side of this table.
And they're all marked and sealed just the way they were when we saw them go under the table.
Correct.
So long story short, they put these ballot carriers under the table because they thought they were through for the day. They were going to retrieve them the next day to count them.
Correct.
Let me ask you this, though. When did the monitors leave?
Most of the Fulton County staff started to leave at 10:30. The press and observers began to leave as well, with approximately 4 employees still scanning. And 10:45, all remaining press and observers left the room.
At 10:45.
Yes,
So they're not in here right now,
correct.
but they were in there to see those boxes go under the table.
Correct. And the other thing we know about this is because we had a state election board monitor in the room who had been there earlier in the day. He noted how many ballots had been scanned on these scanners. And the entire time from 8:30 to 12:45, only 9,800 or so ballots were scanned altogether. This is normal ballot scanning processing. They had this whole video. They know what happened here. They intentionally misleading people. And that's what's so frustrating. It's one thing to think you have suspicions, but to intentionally mislead people using falsified evidence by giving them only part of it is infuriating.
Question I have is, so, okay, they're being charged with RICO and all this shit, right? With the election and all this. They're being charged with the election that they lost. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. What? Were they trying to win the election? Or I don't understand. Like, it's crazy. Put your opinion in the description of this video. Make sure you guys comment. I want to know what you think about this situation. And make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment, share the video if you liked it. And if you don't, too fucking bad, start your own podcast. But I appreciate everyone that takes the time to watch my show. If you want to donate to the show, you can donate through Cash App, Bill Staxx 2021. And if you want to be a guest on Chatting with Staxx, just hit me up and we'll get to it. But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. A lot of content on the way. I got one with Frank DiMatteo. There's another one with Larry Mazza, a new interview with Larry Mazza. There's more to come with Ori Spado. Shout out to Ori. Go check out his book, The Accidental Gangster, and be safe. Remember, don't be a bitch.